Hi, good morning, foodies. Welcome to the grocery store hacks, Foodie Friday. And this one's going to be kind of a long one. Please, if you're here joining me live, please give your feedback and ask questions or even contribute your own grocery store hacks. These are all just strategies that will hopefully, and insights that will hopefully save you money once you get to the grocery store. And so for me, for Foodies Project, the grocery store is really a last resort. My hierarchy of food needs kind of goes my CSA, I get a week's worth of vegetables, I kind of take inventory of what I get in my CSA and really build out my week from there. And when I don't get my CSA, I go to the farmer's market. So usually it's things like bread and eggs, bacon. I buy a lot of bacon at the farmer's market. And then for staples like flour, sugar, salt, maybe cheeses and things, milk. I can't get milk at the farmer's market, unfortunately. And that's where I find myself at the grocery store. So for me, what you do outside of the grocery store is really as important as what you do while you're there. And one of the things is to make a list. Don't go when you are emotionally compromised if you're trying to save money. And don't bring your kids. If you have to bring your kids, don't bring them when they're emotionally compromised, because it will get you to spend more money while you're there. So I'll give you some insight as to why we spend so much money at the grocery store and why we spend more sometimes than we're planning to. And it's because that grocery stores really spend a lot of money to get us, when we're there, get us to spend as much money as we possibly can. So all of the healthy things that we go to the grocery store for are located on the outside of the grocery store. And that's because all of their higher priced, conventional boxed things are in the middle. So, and more of your emotional spending things too. Things like ice cream, things like cookies, all that kind of stuff. So when you first get to the grocery store, most of the time you will enter in either the produce or the bakery side. And for smaller community grocery stores or grocery stores that have healthier eating in mind, to avoid saying a specific grocery store that we all feel is a little on the pricey side. Of course, but so this is really specifically on those grocery stores that carry more local items than, say, a regular chain grocery store. We have 2 in Sonoma County that are great, and but still very pricey. So when you get to the grocery store, and if you come in on the produce side, you'll notice that there are fresh flowers. The produce is immaculately displayed, and the displays are usually either, they look like crates or cardboard boxes or something like that. And all of this is really to get us to think that what they have there is fresh, that the farmer just came and dropped it off in that little crate or that box. And in reality, it was probably shipped from 1,000 miles away on a flatbed truck, and it's been in cold storage for at least 2 weeks. So these are the kind of things that get us when the minute we walk in. The other thing is that no matter how quick the trip, grocery stores are really designed to have you in there for at least 40 minutes. That's the goal. That's why everything is so spread out. They don't want to make it easy for you to find things. So maybe even going to the grocery store a couple of times without buying anything is a great way to strategize once you're there to buy something. So you know exactly where the things that you buy are, so that you can just go right to them. You're not distracted by anything else. The other thing is, well, they did a study. I think this is really interesting. They did a study with a bunch of students who were studying grocery store behavior and buying patterns and all that stuff. And the students went into a grocery store and equipped with all of this empowering information about how we buy. And even the students who were highly educated on all these tricks and tactics started to switch from rational spending in the grocery store to emotional spending at around the 23-minute mark. And by 40 minutes, all of the students had switched from rational spending to emotional spending. So I'll put the study on the blog so that you can see that link, but I thought that was extremely fascinating and demonstrates how powerful the messaging is and the layout and just the environment in grocery stores. So again, to produce, a lot of folks ask me, oh, well, you know, my produce goes bad so fast after I buy it, how do I keep it fresher? And the answer is buy it fresh. Buy it from your farmer. Food in the grocery store is old, for the most part. It's at least a week old. And I know a lot of grocery stores try to avoid that, but it's just unavoidable in a retail setting. A conventional grocery store apple in most chain stores, and it's not organic, it's not heirloom, that's what we mean by conventional. Your freshest apple is 6 months old. Some of them are as old as 2 years old. Like, you can go in and pick up an apple and be like, wow, this is older than that baby screaming at 5 aisles over. I mean, it's just horrifying. So buy vegetables from your farmer. People you should know at the grocery store, cozy up to your meat guy, cozy up to your deli person, and cozy up to your cheese if they have a specialty cheese section. These are people that you can start relationships with in the grocery store who will hook you up. So especially with meat, some of the meat folks can give you offcuts that aren't displayed. They can tell you when certain meats will go on sale. Even cozying up to the general manager of a grocery store and just calling them and saying, hey, you know, what is your sales schedule like? What do your different departments do? What is the coding on the sale tag so that I know when I'm getting a deal? All of these things are completely appropriate questions to ask somebody in that position. And if they are worth their salt at their job, they will be completely open with you and honest with you about that as them wanting to shop and have a good relationship with you as a customer. And so all of those things are located on the outside of your grocery store. So hit those first. Don't go in the aisles. If you do have to go in the aisles and it's located there, the bulk section, that is where you're going to save. And you're going to save in the bulk section because you're getting a really good high quality product for the price, because they're not paying for packaging, they're not paying for advertisement, they're not paying for shelf space. All of these things that drive the price up on other items, packaged items in your grocery store, is non-existent in bulk. So you're gonna, like I said, you're gonna get really good high quality items there for not a lot of money. And then the other thing is spices. Spices should be used pretty frequently to keep them fresh, to get the most flavor out of them. So buy the spices that you need in small amounts and keep going through them. Sometimes when we buy the huge jars of spices, they sit forever for like 2 or 3 years. They're old, they don't have as much flavor to them anymore. And you probably spent $6 to $10 on that little tiny jar of spices. So buy your jarred spices initially and then wash them out and refill them with bulk spices. A great example of that was one time I was at a grocery store and I needed bay leaves, and it was $7 to buy them organic bay leaves in a jar. And I was like, hey, they have a bulk section. So I went and got the same amount of bay leaves from the bulk section that I needed for 33 cents. So buying bulk, and especially buying bulk spices, is a really great way to save money. So after you get home, don't just throw your stuff in the refrigerator or in the cabinets. Make sure that you allow yourself enough time and space, and you have enough, what am I trying to say here? Like you have enough bags and storage receptacles to put things in. Hello there. Being able to par prep the rest of your what you've just bought will save you money. So if you bought vegetables, go ahead, wash them, chop them, put them in your storage. I have big Cambros that I buy from the restaurant supply store, and that's great because I can just chop and put similar types of vegetables in a huge container, and they're just there to reach and grab during the week. Same thing for like kids' lunches. If you have to portion things out for that, take the time to do it. It only takes about 20 minutes on the end of your shopping trip. So if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you have any suggestions or have your own strategies, I'd love to hear them. And I hope that you have a delicious Thanksgiving. And next week we will be talking about what to do with leftovers, not just for the holidays, but in general. That will also save you money. So yeah, have a delicious weekend. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.